Hey everybody, Robert Benson again. So we're talking about library resources that can help you get a good frame of reference for historical time period, so that as you're watching your films for your film papers, you have a pretty good idea of the types of things that stand out in the film as being either particularly accurate or inaccurate as depicted in the film. And so we talked about daily life through history and biography and context as resources for that. I also wanted to bring out a resource called Credo Reference. Sometimes, whenever I need just kind of a broad understanding of a specific topic, going to an encyclopedia or a dictionary can be a really great way to get a good feel for what a topic's about. And so, in the library, Credo Reference is our collection of online encyclopedias and such. To get to Credo Reference, you're going to go to the research guide, and then from there, again, scroll down to the history category. You'll see that. And then under Start here, you'll see Credo Reference listed there. Just like the other databases, if I'm off campus, when I click it, I need to go to log in. And then once I've logged in, I'm able to actually access the database itself. And I find that with Credo Reference, it's way easier to start with, or more effective rather, to start with very broad topics. So if I were working on the film Titanic, one of the background things that I'd like to know about is a little bit about the technology of the ship and what was so significant about the Titanic to start with. Did people really believe that it was unsinkable? And so to do that, I can do a quick search on Titanic, and I'll see a variety of results come up in my list here. The reference entries from things like the Encyclopedia of Tourism, the Columbia Encyclopedia, and then really specific reference works like Ships of the World. And So I'm going to click into Ships of the World here for a sec. And just as an example of the kind of information that might help you before you watch the film to kind of get a sense of what you want to talk about. And this article does a really interesting thing talking about the innovations in terms of what was so significant about the Titanic's technology. It talks about the placement of 15 watertight bulkheads with electrically operated watertight doors. And you see a little bit of the structure of that in the film, I think. But what's particularly interesting to a lot of people is actually the lifeboat issue. And there's a belief that there was this sense of arrogance, not including enough lifeboats for everybody, because the Titanic was unsinkable, it was believed. But this article actually gets into a little bit about the safety regulations at the time, and we find from this particular article that the Titanic was really only required to carry enough lifeboats for 962 people, and so they had enough to handle 1,178. So obviously, as the movie showed, not enough lifeboats for so many people. But the safety regulations at the time were such that the Titanic actually did a little more than was strictly required. Again, not enough, but the mythology of the Titanic that they didn't care about safety isn't quite the story that we may want to tell in our paper. So again, this talks about the people and the events and sort of what is the significance. I advocate Credo Reference in the articles from encyclopedias as a way to get you sensitized to the background, so that as you're watching that movie, whatever movie it is you choose, that you've got a pretty good alert set for things that are either potentially accurate or inaccurate. So I feel like the Daily Life Through History, Biography and Context, and Credo can do a really good job of giving you the broad picture. And so in further videos, I'm going to talk about how to dig in and find specific resources to answer specific questions. So we're going to talk about books, ebooks, and journals. But for now, those are some resources around getting started: Daily Life Through History, Biography and Context, and this database, Credo. So I'm enjoying being your librarian, so please reach out to me and let me know when you have questions so I can help you out. Okay, great. Talk to you soon.